as we head into the 2022 NFL draft, we are going to be giving you our draft profiles of some of our favorite players. And today we have Jameson Williams, wide receiver out of Alabama, 6'2", 189 pounds. He's a junior, 21 years old. His 2021 stats, 79 receptions, over 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns, and a 4-star recruit out of high school. Zach, I know you are in love with this man. Tell us about him.
Firstly, pause. As a player. Look, Jameson Williams is definitely one of my favorite players, if not my favorite player in this class.
Right.
A little bit of history. He was at Ohio State for his first 2 years. He transferred to Alabama before the 2021 season. It's safe to say that that was the right move. Everyone is going to use this in the pre-draft process to lower his stock. To downplay him as a player, because who was at Ohio State that he had to transfer away from? Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to use that. But honestly, if you don't get an opportunity, then you can't show who you are. Okay?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he did tear his ACL in the national championship game. But this is the definition of a true game wrecker. On any play, Jameson Williams can score a touchdown for your team. His best attributes are really showed on film versus Arkansas this year. Okay. Mm-hmm. So if you want to go on YouTube after this video and go search Jameson Williams versus Arkansas 2021, because then you'll see what he can be as a player in the NFL. You'll see his ceiling as a player in the NFL. I don't want to hound on strengths and weaknesses because we really want to talk about where he would fit well and what he could do in the NFL. But just quickly, elite speed. Mm-hmm. This is not something that you can teach. You can't teach this kind of speed. It is elite, can score on any touch. Great size. My favorite part about him is normally when you find a burner, an elite speed person, the route running isn't there.
Yeah, it's nasty.
They just win with their speed. But for Jameson Williams, he is an elite route runner as well, a route running technician, if you will. Quick feet, very shifty, and in the yak game, he can succeed as well because of his speed, extend plays, produces big numbers when given the chance. So this is, in my opinion, a complete player. A lot of people are going to see the speed and expect that he's not a very good route runner, but go watch his route running. I mean, you see some Jerry Jeudy type route running ability from this guy. Very crisp on his routes, keeps defenders guessing, is able to create separation. Mm-hmm. I love him. And the only weakness I see personally is the ACL. Is he going to be able to recover from that?
I agree.
So I have no doubt he would have been the number one wide receiver off the board if it wasn't for the injury. And now I just think someone is going to get a steal in the draft. But I know you're not as high on him. Do you see the same thing as I do, or question marks?
Look, I see everything you see. My biggest thing is that ACL, and this is the reason why he's fallen tremendously in my draft rankings, because the way that he wins in fantasy football, or when he will win or be somebody that could, in my opinion, can contribute, won't be until at middle of his second, maybe to his third year, in my opinion, because it's the time frame of where he tore his ACL. He tore his ACL in the Natty game. Was it December or January? Something along
January, yeah.
In those months, he's going to miss the combine. He's going to miss the NFL draft. He's going to miss preseason. He's going to miss the connection with the quarterback. He's going to miss everything. If he does return, he'll probably return December, potentially. It usually takes a year. You miss a whole season. I mean, 6 to 8 months? Maybe he has a great fast recovery. I see him missing a step, and he's going to have to gain a connection with the quarterback. He's going to have to understand the offense. He's going to have a year that he's going to sit down, and I don't know if I don't know if I want to sit on that.
I think those are all valid points for sure. And I think those are all valid points. And my reason that I can get over that is because who he can be as a complete player, and we've seen many wide receivers recover from ACLs now. Absolutely. It's very easy for wide receivers to do that. Mm-hmm. If he can be a complete player, then he is a game wrecker, and he will be the most valuable wide receiver potentially in this class, if not top 3.
Yeah, and I agree. You said someone can get a steal in this draft, and I agree. If he did not tear his ACL, he would be my number one wide receiver right now. There's without a doubt.
By the way, you could also get a steal in your rookie drafts, because if people feel the same way as what Badaki just said, Jameson could fall to the 110, 111, 112, and you could have just found a steal. Yes, you have to be patient. He's probably not going to be in camp, and you're not going to see hype videos of him. But I mean, let's talk about pro comps, okay? Who can he be in the NFL? What sort of player are we talking about? I have a combo of 3 players.
Right.
Deshaun Jackson, Jerry Jeudy, Hollywood Brown. Okay?
Yeah.
But all those players into one.
Okay.
That's what I see when I watch Jameson's film. What about you?
I saw a Will Fuller, kind of a big body guy, a burner, a dude that can kind of get those contested catches. You know, I just thought about, wow, imagine him if he was with Deshaun Watson. I was like, that would have been crazy. And that's what brought me to Will Fuller. So that's what I see from him. All
right, let's talk about NFL team fits. I have one in particular that I would really love to see him at. And because I love the quarterback there, and I think he needs help. And that is Jacksonville. So I'm saying round 2, pick 1. Okay, because Jacksonville is not going to spend the 101 in the draft on Jameson Williams. But let's say he does fall because of the injury. Could you imagine Jacksonville is able to grab him with the first pick of the 2nd round? That would be my ideal fit. I have some other fits, but let's hear yours.
For me, the biggest one that stood out for me was the Eagles. I know you're not big on Jalen Hurts, but they need that other guy. You know, they can have.
Oh my God, that would kill me. That would kill me.
And I know Devonta Smith, he's gonna have that year, and then he can get the other guy on the other side, a quick, fast burner. It's kind of two Devonta Smiths potentially. I mean, I don't know if you really think about it.
Please don't do that, Philly.
I like it.
Please.
I personally like it, but obviously I had the Saints, Falcons, Jags. I had the Jags as well. I think it's a good fit. Okay. But
look, the reason I don't want him in Philly is because I don't want my wide receiver connected to Jalen Hurts. No disrespect, but it's not someone I feel like I can rely on. Other teams in other places that I could see him going in the draft: the Saints with their 1st round pick at 18, Raiders with their 1st round pick at 22, the Chiefs at 32. Hey, if he falls to 32 and he's sitting there and the Chiefs are like, we could get an ideal player to build with Patrick Mahomes when these other guys are starting to fall off. Could you imagine if the league allows the Chiefs to get Jameson Williams? Bro, and then I think the Falcons could really utilize him as well in the 2nd round.
Do you believe he will still go in the 1st?
I think he is a lock for the 1st, but the only reason that he falls is if, reports come out that surgery didn't go well, or there are some issues that he's coming up with. And the reality is some teams will say, I want someone who can contribute now. I don't want to deal with the injury. Yeah, that could drop him to the 2nd round.
Some of these teams want to win now, people, that's why I find it difficult to. Well, every team wants to win now, but I find it difficult for the teams that were just in the playoffs, the Bills, the Titans, Tampa, Green Bay, Kansas. It's so hard to see them
the Chiefs could still win without him. And then when he's ready to go, oh my God, if he falls to the Chiefs.
It's true. We'll see.
See what happens. That would be bad. It would be great because if you have him, you have Patrick Mahomes' future weapon. But then in rookie drafts, his value goes crazy.
Yeah.
So where does he rank amongst your wide receivers?
Once again, this can all
change.
This can all change. But because of this injury, he's my wide receiver 6 at the moment. It's tough. It's tough. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree. I
don't think it's crazy to say that. Look, a lot of people are high on the other guys like Wilson, Burks, and whatnot. There's a case to be made to worry about the injury. And look, he's my wide receiver 1 right now. But there is another player that graded out almost identical to him in our scoring grades.
Yeah.
Different player, but we're going to talk about him in the next video we're about to record. So be on the lookout for it. He's my wide receiver 1, just barely ahead of someone else. And I think all these wide receivers can succeed this year. It just depends on their situation. What do you guys think about Jameson? Comment down below. You with me? You with Badaki? You somewhere in between? All the information you provide in the comments with your opinions allow someone who watches it to get a full picture.
Yo, what's good? Thanks for watching. We got a lot more videos.
A lot more.
If you want more videos.
Watch it.
You can also subscribe.
Right now.
If you want to.
You need to.
And lastly, don't forget that you can sign up to support the show and get exclusive content by going to patreon.com/fantasylandfam.